Sometimes the heart writes its own story, even when we wish it wouldn't. In this episode of English Stories with Chaterine, I want to share a personal tale, not of fairy tales or happy endings, but of quiet heartbreak, emotional strength, and learning to love yourself again. If you're here to improve your English while listening to real human stories, you're in the right place. My name is Clara Hastings. I am 44 years old. I live in Bath, in a quiet little flat above a bookshop. I work as a coordinator at a private art gallery. It's a modest role, but peaceful. I enjoy the calm, the paintings, the light through tall windows. I live alone. I have my routines, my cups of tea, my quiet evenings. Then came the day our new curator arrived. His name was Andrew Langston. He was 50, confident, warm, a gentleman with kind eyes, a gentle voice, and a memory for details most people forget. At first, he was just the new curator. I nodded politely, returned to my desk. But as weeks passed, I began to notice things. I liked how he said my name. I liked how he laughed. He asked, "Did you sleep well?" Or, "How's your sister doing?" Small questions, but they stayed with me. He stood a little closer than necessary. Not in a way that was wrong, just enough to make my heart flutter. Once his hand brushed mine as we reviewed a new sculpture's placement. My fingers tingled for hours afterward. I began thinking of him late at night, not on purpose, not with plans, but he lingered in my mind. His voice, his smile, the way he once said, "You have a calm presence. It's rare." Then I saw the ring. It caught the light as he held a teacup during a staff meeting. It felt like something broke quietly inside me. He was married. Of course he was. A man like that, kind and gracious, someone already loved him. I told myself, let this go. But the heart doesn't always obey. It had already wandered too far. I didn't confess anything, but he must have felt it. One evening, as we locked up the gallery, he looked at me and said, "You're very easy to talk to, Clara. I look forward to our chats more than I should." That night I didn't sleep. One Sunday, I went to the botanical gardens, my sanctuary. I sat on a bench, letting the late autumn breeze touch my face. And then I saw him, Andrew, with a woman. She held his arm as they walked, laughing. 2 children ran ahead, chasing leaves. They were beautiful, happy. He wasn't my Andrew anymore. He was someone else's everything. A husband, a father, a man with a life I had no place in. He didn't see me. I was glad. I turned my face, pretending to read a leaflet about the orchids. My chest ached, but I didn't cry, not then. The next day at work, he greeted me as usual. "Morning, Clara. You all right?" I nodded, smiled politely, but inside, everything felt hollow. Later that week, we stayed late, just the 2 of us. He sat beside me as I typed out the guest list for an exhibit. Quietly, he said, "You've become important to me." I froze. He looked at me, his voice low. "I care about my family, but I think about you more than I should." A pause. Then, "You make me feel seen." I wanted to cry. I wanted to say, I feel the same. But instead, I said, I don't want to be the reason for someone else's pain. He nodded, said nothing more. He left a few minutes later. The air felt still. After that, we kept our distance. There were no more quiet late evenings, no more shared looks, but the feeling stayed. For a while, I kept hoping maybe he would come back, say something more, but he didn't. And deep down, I knew that was best. One rainy Thursday evening, I looked at myself in the mirror. No makeup, just me, I said aloud. Clara, it's time. Let him go. And something inside me shifted. I didn't fall out of love immediately, but slowly I began to reclaim myself, my life, my space, my heart. Now I still see Andrew at the gallery. We are kind, professional, but I no longer hope because I've learned something powerful. Love is not just about holding on. It is also about letting go with grace. And perhaps the most important love story I'll ever live is the one I have with myself. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope Clara's experience reminded you of something important. Your heart is worthy of care, even when it breaks. In every story we share here, you not only practice English with real emotions and simple expressions, but you also connect to the universal strength inside all of us. If this touched you, please like, comment and share. And always, always be kind to your own heart. Until next time, I'm Chaterine Whitmore, and this has been English Stories with Chaterine.